All right. The May 10th, 2023 meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. So the order, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether or not an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. Board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chairman and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I'd like to ask all persons who expect to give testimony tonight to stand and be sworn in by the city clerk.
You, sir, affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Okay, before we get into the hearings, we do have to approve the minutes, but I want to let you guys know our first case will be the first case, 0339. Our second case will be case number 231067. Our third case will be under unfinished business, 22-1311. And we may have a correction if you guys would look at case number 231048. The site of the violation should say 7608 Supner.
Oh, there, okay.
1048.
Oh, yeah, it's up here, okay. So it should be what?
7608 Supner. Sumpter. Is that a drive or a place or?
It says court,
Court, okay.
and it should say drive.
No, it should say court. Yours is, okay, so mine was wrong, yours is right. Okay. All right. Okay. Ex parte communications. This time I'd like to ask board members if they had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before the Code Enforcement Board this evening. If you've had verbal communications, please describe the sum and substance of the communications, when and where the communications occurred, and with whom it occurred. If you received any written communications, please disclose the nature of the communications and provide a copy to the city clerk to be filed in the record. Starting with you, Bill?
I've had none.
None.
I've had none.
I've had none.
Very good. Approval of minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes for April 12, 2023? Does anybody have any changes, additions, or corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Okay, on for the first case, case number 23-0339.
Case number 23-0339, City versus Shahan Properties LLC.
We'll call you up when we're ready.
For the property located at 12601 North 56th Street, the case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-1043, Plant Material and Design, Section 12-1049, Landscaping Perimeter, Section 12-1047, Landscape Maintained in Good Condition, and Section 12-1048, Required Interior Landscaping, Trees. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Tom Baroni. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Tom Baroni, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated back on January 20, 2023, when I noted some
Can't hear you.
hedges.
Is your mic on?
This is the mic here, so.
Is it lit? Because he's saying he can't hear you. Okay, you're good now.
Okay, I'll start over. Tom Baroni, Code Compliance Officer. This case this evening originated back on January 20, 2023, when I noted a substandard hedges along the front parking lot, a non-working irrigation system, and beds needing mulch. I also noted a grand oak tree, it's actually a live oak tree, stump, which needed to be replaced based on the landscaping site plan. Later that morning, a code staff reached out to the owner to update and to have a meeting at the plaza to review our findings. Later that week, code staff gave them 1 month to bring the property into compliance. An inspection on March 10th, 2023 noted no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared on the 13th of March with a compliance date of March 28, 2023. The notice was posted at the property's owner's home by Lori Smith, and I requested copies to be sent out certified and first-class mail. I also requested a copy to be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. I sent out 2 emails to the owner's son on April 13, 2023, and January 27, 2023, with no response. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence that was taken by me on April 26, 2023. Exhibit number 1 and 2 shows the substandard hedges along the front parking lot. Exhibit number 3 shows missing ground cover. Exhibit number 4 shows the live oak stump of the tree that was cut down. And exhibit number 5 shows the landscaping site plan that I'd like to submit at this time.
We'll accept those, thank you.
Okay, that's good.
Any questions for the code officer?
As of Monday, May 8th, I received an email from the owner's son, and he had stated that they have a irrigation company coming out to repair the broken irrigation, but at this point, it's still out of compliance, and the son and owner is here tonight to give their testimony.
Questions for the code officer?
So there, I think there are, what, 4 violations here? So
There's 4, right.
none of them are in compliance at
None of them are, at
this
this
point?
time, are in compliance.
And other than the, I guess the contact you had, was that today you said?
Monday,
Monday?
he reached out with an email.
That there's been no progress made on it,
No.
any of them at all?
Is that, you
And I
got an
think-
email from the respondent?
Yes, on Monday.
Is there a chance we can get that put into the record?
If you would like it, I have it right here. I gotta,
Get that put into the record.
okay, let me just put down exhibit number 6.
And if you wouldn't mind, if it's not too long, would you mind reading it into the record?
Well, he's here tonight to testify?
Oh, okay, is he
He's here.
gonna be testifying to what's in the email?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, they'll update you.
All right.
And I'll submit it as evidence.
okay.
I wanted some clarification on the live oak situation too.
Yep.
So is that the violation that says required interior landscaping trees? Is that the one
Yes,
that's
yep.
under? And I thought there was also some fine or some, they have to be in compliance, they have to replant a tree that was cut down in order to be, I thought there was some addition. How does that fit in with
As
this?
far as the evidence of when and where.
Okay.
Who cut down the tree.
Yeah, you don't have
I
that.
have no knowledge of anybody cutting this tree down.
Okay.
All I know is that there's a stump
Yeah,
in one of the parcels of the parking lot.
okay, that makes sense. Thanks.
Any other questions?
Any other questions for the code officer? Seeing none? Did the respondent wanna address the board? Name and address for the record, please.
Ladies and gentlemen of the,
Name and address for the record.
excuse me, my name is Yusuf Sajhan, address is 12601 North 56th Street, Temple Terrace, Florida 33617. Good evening, my name is Yusuf Sajhan. I'm here today on behalf of Sajhan Properties LLC regarding the violation notice of our property located at 12601 North 56th Street, Temple Terrace. I stand before you today with a sense of optimism and determination, eager to share the significant progress we've made in addressing the violation and our commitment to resolve this fully. First and foremost, I want to express our sincere appreciation to the Code Enforcement Board for providing us the opportunity to present our case. We understand the importance of compliance with the city's code and regulation, and we are fully committed to rectifying the violation and promptly and in accordance with the established guidelines. The violation in question pertains to the irrigation system on our property, which we acknowledge as an essential component of maintaining the beauty and sustainability of our landscape, and we've taken this violation seriously and recognizing the significance of water conservation in our community and its imperative act to, for the environment. In an effort to address the violation, we have actively sought out qualified contractors who specialize in irrigation system repairs and stump removal. And while we do not have a contractual agreement to present today, we have gathered compiling evidence that support our ongoing effort. We have text messages documenting our discussions and negotiation and with experienced contractors who are committed to rectifying the issue promptly. Furthermore, I'm pleased to present video recordings that highlights the remarkable progress we have achieved thus far. This footage showcases the initial stages of the repair and provides a visual testament to our dedication and determination to restore the functionality of the irrigation system. We believe this video will provide the board with a clear understanding of our commitment and tangible steps we have taken to address the violation. We understand the importance of compliance and need to rectify the issue without delay. With this in mind, we kindly request a 2-week extension to complete the necessary repairs. This additional time will allow us to finalize our arrangement with the most qualified contractor and to ensure that the repairs are met and exceed all regulatory standards. We are confident that with this extension, we will be able to resolve the violation thoroughly and the satisfaction of with the board. I want to emphasize that our unwavering commitment to water conservation and sustainability with views of restoration of our irrigation system as an opportunity to not to rectify this violation, but also to contribute positively to our community by repairing and optimizing the irrigation system. In conclusion, I would like to express our gratitude for the Code Enforcement Board attention to our case in considering our request for an extension. We are fully committed to resolve this violation and comply with the city's code and regulation. We value the collaborative relationship between our property and the city, and we will maintain open lines of communication throughout this process. Thank you for your time, and we eagerly wait for your decision. On that note, we did send out a follow-up email on Tuesday, stating that we did secure a company to come out. We've been having difficulties over the last month and a half to actually have someone that was competent enough to actually get our repairs done. So we've been actually having, that has been our biggest effect, was not finding someone that had the skill set to actually complete our irrigation problem. On top of that, for the stump removal, we also needed someone else that had the capability for them to remove that specific stump. So that's why unfortunately it's taken us a while to actually clarify this. But I also have video that we did send over to the city documenting that we did make some significant progress.
So your presentation has been mostly focused on the irrigation. Do you think you can have the irrigation repaired, the stump removed, the mulch replaced?
Yeah, so the mulch and the irrigation, sir, it will be, those are already being done by one company, because instead of working with multiple companies at that time, we didn't have someone that was qualified to just do the irrigation, because they had to go underneath before we can even get a separate landscaper. So now that we've actually solidified, the sprinkler system will be completed for tomorrow, and the landscaping will be completed by next week. It's all done by the same company, but we're just working off of their specific schedule that we just happen to fall under.
Okay. So you have, so everything will be done within a couple weeks?
Yeah, we're only asking for a 2-week extension.
So that's what, I just want to make
yes, sir.
sure that you understand it's more than just irrigation.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
All right, very good. Any other questions?
The extension is 2 weeks from today.
Yes.
Basically. Okay.
Rod?
I wanted to ask, you think by June 14th you'll be done?
He said 2 weeks.
2 weeks, I know, but,
Yeah.
you know,
He said 2 weeks multiple times.
I know, but, you know, just to make sure,
I do
because
appreciate
if,
the extension, but I'm a man of my word, and
Yeah.
2 weeks is sufficient time for us, because our original plan was over the last 6 weeks, we haven't been able to find someone reputable that can come out and do it. We've had multiple companies come out, but they don't specialize on our type of irrigation system. There's different types of irrigation systems out there, and to meet our specific property needs, multiple companies did deny us at the spot because they did not have the skill set to actually work on our zonings, because we had multiple zonings involved, while at the same time trying to have someone that can actually complete the stump removal at the same time.
Yeah, great.
there is no permits involved in his case, no permits. And you're comfortable with all that, you've seen the site?
I listened to his testimony, I'm comfortable with what he said tonight.
Okay.
But it hasn't been, the only thing I've seen is a non-working irrigation system that he showed me a video on. And that's the only thing I've
His
seen.
testimony is it'll be done in 2 weeks. Samir?
Yeah, I just want to make sure you understand the violations. There are 4 of them. And
Yes,
I
so one of
think,
the first one, oh, excuse-
I want to be clear about when you're going to finish them. Are you absolutely sure you're going to finish it in 2 weeks?
I'm
Because the next meeting is June 14th. That's 4 weeks.
yes, sir. We're confident enough to complete that by then. We already have one.
By which date?
Which,
That-
we were asking for a 2-week extension at that time. I think that might have been sufficient enough. If there's another board meeting within the next 4 weeks, we're more than happy to comply with that as well. If you guys believe that would be more sufficient time for us as well, we're more than happy to accept that. At good faith, we can state that within 2 weeks, I'll be able to provide an updated photo and video to the board, just so we can show you in our good faith that we've been actively completing this. So tomorrow, I'll be able to provide an updated video stating that the sprinkler system is functional. And then the following week, we'll be able to provide the updated with the shrubs and the additional mulching as well.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain, thank you. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
In case number 23-0339, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the city Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 12601 North 56th Street with 4 violations. Section 12-1043, Section 12-1049, Section 12-1047, and Section 12-1048. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer and other witnesses and Mr. Sharjan, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and a notice of violation of which is received and entered as part of this record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before June 14th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with the order of the order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violations, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $50 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second, any further discussion?
Yep, I just gonna say that I would like to get us back into the situation where it's $25 per day per violation. That's what,
I was
think, and I think
considering-
this is on 56th Street, it's visible. The guy's saying he's done some work. We're hearing from code that there hasn't really any progress made,
I
so,
was considering that, Bill, but when I start evaluating and hearing the testimony, first of all, he's asking for 2 weeks, and it seems confident that he'll be having this work done. Plus, I think we looked at other violations. This is all landscaping to me. I was gonna put $25 per day, but since there are like some trees and some stubs and no permits and other violations also, that's why I considered some of the violations that we did, the 25 per violation, is based on permitting, and there's so many issues on that. And plus, from what I see in the testimony, it's just I felt comfortable. I was gonna even do it 25, but I knew that somebody would be on
Somebody.
this board.
Well, let me just suggest something. If you felt comfortable that he was gonna get it done in a month, why not $100 a day? Because it won't happen anyway, if he gets it done in 30 days.
Well, I think it's fair just to be, like considering, even a lot of people also don't show up for their violations, and they ask for email or something. The gentleman came up and made a presentation, so.
Okay, we have a motion second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
nay.
Okay, so motion passes 3-1. You've been found in violation of the 4 violations. You have until June 14th to bring the property into compliance. If that property is not brought into compliance by June 14th, a fine of $50 per day will begin to accrue. However, should there be circumstances that prevent you from bringing the property into compliance, you can come to the meeting that evening, and you're able to ask for an extension. There is no guarantee that you'll get an extension, but you can ask. Okay, hopefully everything goes smoothly and you're done within the 2 weeks that you asked for. Okay? Good luck. Next case.
Next, case number 23-1067, City versus Sway, 2014-1 Borrower LLC for the property located at 610 Courtney Drive.
Sir, you can have a seat. We'll call you up when we're ready. Thank
The
you.
case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-861E6, fences maintained in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on February 27, 2023. My inspection at the time noted a side yard privacy fence in disrepair, extended presence of the city garbage can by the curb, along with curbside debris. This time I sent an email to the property manager requesting the violations to be corrected. My reinspection on March 15, 2023 noted no change, so I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of March 30, 2023. Posted notice at the residence as well as City Hall. Also mailed copies both certified and regular mailed to the address of the registered owner and sent the notice by email to the property manager. My inspection on April 11, 2023 noted the curbside debris and city can removed from the curb. The fence of the residence was still in disrepair. I'd like to submit photographic evidence. I have 3 photographs. The notice posted at the home and the 2 photographs of the fence in disrepair. As of today's date, the property is in compliance, and I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance along with them.
We'll accept that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any questions for the code officer?
And I also have the 2 emails here, if you would like me to submit those that I had sent.
That'd be great. Thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
It is fully compliant, it's in full compliance?
Fence is repaired, it's fully in
Okay,
compliance.
great, yes.
And the fence permit was pulled.
Oh, great. Perfect. Thank you. Did the respondent want to say anything?
Dan Seafair. I represented Sway when they were selling the property during this whole time.
Your name and address for the record.
Daniel Seafair. Address in the question is 610 Courtney Drive. I represented Sway in the disposition of the property, and during this whole time, since they got identified from February on, it was in the process of, long story short, it's a large corporation, they own thousands of homes, so they were putting it through their disposition system. Once I saw the violation on the door, we moved to cure it. We got survey done as fast as we could, and much like the previous gentleman, as soon as we can get somebody to go out there repair was in April, which they did. They pulled a permit, they replaced that section of the fence, and they cleaned everything up. So we moved as fast as we could, but like he was saying, right now, getting trades to get you on a calendar is not the easiest thing in the world. So, but everything was complied with, and they did it as according to how you guys
We'd
were.
like to hear. Thank you.
So hopefully, there's no fines.
Any questions for the respondent? Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, if there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll take this one.
Thank you.
All right, in case number 23-1067, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist at the property located at 610 Courtney Drive. Code violation, section 12-861-E-6. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Jose Silva and Mr. Seafair, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that no fine be imposed because the violation was brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No? No opposition? Motion passes. Next case, please. So we're gonna go to unfinished business, gentlemen. Case number 22-1311.
Case number 22-1311. Dunya Gazev for the property located at 5106 East 126th Street. This is tonight at midnight.
Property owner here to
Okay.
request an extension.
Dunia Ramirez, Kadarsev, 5106 East 122nd Avenue, Tempe Terrace, Florida 33617. As far as today, I know you guys grant me like a month extension. Only,
Let me just stop you there. Why
Yes,
don't you
I'm sorry.
bring us up to speed on what was the original violation?
oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, the property hasn't been, from the first time that we pulled a building permit, it hasn't been any activity. So, you guys give me till today, a month to resolve that issue.
So the violation is a lack of a building permit? Is that what?
No, the structure was went on fire 3 years ago.
Oh,
The structure has been demoed, and the property is just sitting there for 3 years.
okay.
So it's under building nuisance. There has to be construction after a period of time. If there's no construction, it becomes a nuisance to the community.
Is there an active building permit on there?
They applied, that's what she's gonna update you.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Now I understand. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
So before, only like 2 weeks from now, my contractor went and registered himself, but only 2 weeks before, that's when I found out that we still need the registration of the electrical, the plumber, and the mechanic. Because before, the very first time when we pulled a permit, nobody required registration. We got the permit, and that's what everybody kind of got confused this time, because nobody knew that they needed to register before getting the permit. Because my contractor, they from St. Pete, Pinellas, Pasco, and they say this is the first time that they see that people have to register themselves before getting the permit. So it was kind of like a little bit hard time to track the electrical, the plumbing, the mechanic, to go and fill up the registration to submit it. And also, just today, I found out that I cannot drop it off. It has to be the contractor to drop off the tree application. As a homeowner, I cannot do anything. And my contractor said that today he couldn't, I understand my house is not the only one that he's working at the moment. And sometimes he's far away. So as for now, we were even about ready.
So let me
Go
try,
ahead,
let me
yes.
try to summarize. So your general contractor applied for a permit to work in Temple Terrace, and he got that. Your subcontractors are now in the process of getting the same permission. Is that correct?
Something like that. I'm sorry, my lack of knowledge, like I say.
Weren't registered through the city.
They were-
Yes,
Right,
they
right.
were.
But so the GC's now registered, but his subs are not.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So, but where does has the paperwork been dropped off by anybody?
That the only thing that they needed it to do is just a registration of the electrical, the mechanic, and the
Yes.
plumber.
Where does that paperwork stand?
They already finished, but I cannot drop it off, only the contractor. And the contractor right now, he's, right now he's busy. Probably like tomorrow, I already spoke to him, probably tomorrow he's gonna get the papers and drop it off. Cause I was ready to drop off the papers, cause the papers were ready, and
As a
we were
homeowner,
even.
You can't do that.
Yes, I didn't know, like I say, I don't know, and we were ready even to do like electrical pole.
How long did it take for the GC to get his registration completed?
No, like actually after the meeting that we have like a month ago, within days, he went and registered himself.
So if we assume that the same process will take the same amount of time, by Wednesday or Thursday of next week, your subcontractors will also have been registered. Is that a reasonable assumption?
Yes, like I say, only we need him to drop off the papers.
Right, so if he drops it off tomorrow, Friday, by Wednesday of next week, you should have everything you need.
After he drop off, I don't know the time of processing after drop off the paper.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How long did it take your general contractor to get permission, to get his registration done? No?
I mean, the registration, the papers are ready. After he drop it off, that hopefully tomorrow he can come over and drop them off on the city.
I understand that, but how long did it take your general contractor to get his registration approved?
Oh, I got no
Was
idea.
it a week? Was it a month?
I think it was the first week she got it.
Okay, so
Oh.
if we soon, even another week, by next Friday, you should be in good order.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what happens after that?
Well, we were about to start pretty much. Like we even were about to do the post, the electrical post to start already because there is no electricity there. But I called today and I spoke to Dallas, and because I was told that if he give the permission, we could do electrical poles. But then he said no. Also for electrical poles, we need a permit. So the electrical has to also submit a permit, even for something as simple as to get electricity on the
Yeah,
property.
but that's two different things. If your subcontractors get registered here, you still don't have a permit.
Yeah. Anyway, I cannot do nothing until they approve the permit.
Okay, so
Cannot do
that's
anything.
gonna take some time too, so,
Yes, she's probably may be here next month and the following month.
Yeah.
Because what's going on.
Right.
It's not the violation of the work without a permit. We want to see progress.
you wanna see progress, but she can't do any progress
Yeah,
without a
without a
permit.
permit.
We want to see building.
Yeah,
going up.
but that,
Yeah.
she needs, in order to have progress, she needs a permit.
A permit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so you may have your registrations done by next week, and then he has to submit for a permit, which is gonna take probably 3 weeks.
I think I spoke to somebody on the building department, and they say when the contractor comes and drop off the tree registration that they need, I think Paul, he was about to give him right away like a building permit. Is that right? Is that how it works?
I know, separate, different department.
Oh,
Sorry.
I think I was told because I asked
I hope that's correct.
Some question.
Hang on a second, one at a time. Amir. Amir.
So you asking for an extension, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, June 14 will be good to get the permit?
Well, hopefully the permit's gonna be approved
Okay.
by.
If,
to
okay,
start,
if
yes.
not, then you come
Yes,
back.
absolutely.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you.
Go ahead.
First of all, there is no structures on the property?
It's just one wall.
2 walls actually.
Is there any demolitions, or are you gonna,
The demolition was done already.
done?
Yes.
Sitting like that for 3 years.
I just wanted to understand how, that's just for my own decision and knowledge. Why is it becoming a nuisance for the because there's one wall, or?
Because if you just can't allow a structure to sit there and no progress. So this was due to a fire, and it sat there for 3 years.
And they have plans, they have building plans, and they have all that?
Yes.
You have that already? Did you, the contractor is gonna submit them after
Yeah,
they're
the
approved by
thing
the
is-
city to do work here?
I'm so sorry. When the house got on fire, I wasn't the owner. My stepdad was the owner. And of course, I'm not gonna do any work. I'm not gonna put in any money on a house that is not mine. Only like a year or something after, that's what I got to buy the house. And then it was on our name. And from there, that's where, because I know the house was sitting there for a while, but I wasn't the owner.
There's a lot of history here.
Yes.
I remember COVID happened for 3
Yep.
years. She was dealing with Amir for a long time.
Oh, yes.
And then there was permits pulled, they never followed up and did anything.
Yeah,
That's
So
why
where
it's
we
taking-
stand now is she's in the process of getting all her contractors and subcontractors registered with the city of Temple Terrace. Once that's completed, the contractor can then file for a building permit, and then she can start.
Yes,
Yes.
And although the building permit itself is not the violation, she cannot cure the violation until she gets a permit.
that's correct.
So you would like to see progress in the situation, like registering and getting the permit and seeing some
And
activity?
progress on site.
On site, oh, okay, so the contractor cannot be on site unless he gets a permit
That's correct.
Yes.
issued. Okay, that's my question, I don't know who to ask, how long does it take?
Just had a question for Director Barone. So are you okay with us giving a 30-day extension for this? Is that,
I have
accept-
no problem with that.
okay.
Okay, so, but I do have to ask, if she needs to come back here next month, can we have the building department here?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
okay. So all we need is, so if she's asking for an extension, we can give an extension if you guys choose. to our next meeting, and we just need a motion to address that.
That's right?
You want to try?
Okay. In case number 22-1311, I move that we give a 30-day extension for for this case.
Well, let's do a date certain. What's the date?
Yes, yes, we give till June 14th, 2023.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
Are you happy with that motion?
Yeah, it's just continuance.
Yes. Can we have a motion
Well,
and second?
Do you
And
understand when, the motion? They're continuing it till June 14th, the deadline,
Yes.
all right? And if you're gonna need another continuance, which I have a feeling you will, make sure you let Mr. Baroni know so that he can
Yes.
have the building official
Yes,
here.
I keep in touch with Lori.
Okay, but I reminded Lori today that make sure you were here tonight.
Actually, I didn't know that I had to come here. She told me. Thanks. I'm so sorry.
let us finish the proceedings then, Will. So we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So you've been given an extension until June 14th to get everything you need to get the violation cured, to come in compliance. If something happens and you're still not in compliance by June 14th, you need to come back here, okay? And you need to let Tom know that you're still not in compliance, so he can have the building department here, so that some of the questions that we had for Tom that is not really his forte, we can ask the building inspector, okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Have a good night.
I stay, right? Until you.
No, we're done. You got your
I
extension.
want to walk out. Like,
You got your extension.
I've been watching it.
You're welcome to,
You can go home.
you're welcome to stay. You're welcome to stay.
Walk slowly,
Yeah.
just in case.
You're welcome to stay, but your case is done. You got your extension. Thank you. All right, we're back to case number 2 on the original agenda under item C hearings. Case number 23-0638.
Case number 23-0638, City versus Nafis and Zina Ahmed, for the property located at 10029 North 52nd Street. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-10213B, exterior walls maintained in good condition. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on February 2nd, 2023 for stained exterior walls. I left the door hanger with a reinspection date of February 12th. I reinspected the property on March 23rd and observed no change, so I generated a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of April 7th, 2023. I posted the notice at the front gate, and a copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both regular and certified mail, to the owner of record. My reinspection on April 26 showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing and scheduled the case for the May Municipal Code Board meeting. I have texted the property manager on March 27th to make him aware of the violation, and did hear back from him on May 4th regarding this site. He has had the courtyard wall cleaned and painted, and will have the side wall cleaned and repainted if needed within 2 weeks. I would like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on March 23rd and April 27th, 2023.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation. Exhibit number 2 shows the stained exterior wall, I believe, on the courtyard wall. And exhibit number 3 shows the side wall of the condominium stained as well. This time the site's in partial compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Yes. When you say partial compliance, like,
There were 2 sections that needed to be cleaned. One's been cleaned, the other one
so
hasn't.
it's one violation, but 2 sections?
Correct,
so-
sir.
So there's a progress. Did you contact the owner, or?
Yes, I
Said he texted him.
Oh,
yeah,
fictive,
I
okay.
texted him, and he actually finally did call me back as well and said that he thought he'd be done. He got the courtyard wall cleaned and painted, and he said he believes he can get the large side wall either cleaned and or painted if needed within 2 weeks.
Okay.
So, well, yeah,
Any other questions for the code officer?
thank you.
Sure.
The respondent is not here.
No, sir.
Okay. Seeing that the respondent is not here, I entertain a motion.
I'll do it.
You'll do it? Sure. Somebody.
In case number 230638, I move that the city has proven by greater weight of the evidence that the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace code exists on a property located at 10029 North 52nd Street, applicable code sections, Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection B. This motion is based on a sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Doug Allen, along with other evidence, including video affidavit and a notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record for this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before June 14, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine of each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any action taken by the violator to correct this violation, and any previous violation committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Next case is going to be case number 23-1048, City versus Rickeret Jezebel for the property located at
7608.
7608 Sumter Court. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-1028, light ventilation, maintain in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. Case originated on February 24, 2023. My inspection at the time noted a sheet of plywood covering the second-story window over the garage. This time I left the door hanger with a compliance date of March 2nd, 2023. My reinspection on March 7, 2023 noted no change, so I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of March 18, 2023. Posted notice at the home as well as City Hall. Mail copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. My inspection on March 20, 2023 noted the sheet of plywood still over the window. This time I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violation. Notice evidence, Exhibit 1 is the notice posted at the door. Exhibit number 2 is the plywood covering the window.
We'll accept those, thank you.
On April 25th, 2023, I was contacted by the homeowner, and she was not aware that you couldn't have plywood over the window, and I requested the plywood to be removed, which has been done, and I have an affidavit of compliance.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Yes.
Go ahead.
What's the reason behind putting plywood on the window?
The reason behind the plywood? She wasn't aware you couldn't have plywood over the window. The window's not broken or anything.
Just
You just had it over the window.
hurricane precaution or something?
Well, we haven't hit hurricane season yet.
Yeah,
Some less hurricane.
It's in compliance,
but it's in
right?
compliance.
It's in compliance, but, you know, I was curious.
Lucky it wasn't a fire.
I will do this one.
Yeah. I haven't asked for it yet. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it. It's a correct case. In case number 23-1048, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 7608 Sumter Court. We corrected that.
No, that's the correct address.
Oh, correct, okay, correct, Sumter Court. With the applicable code violation, section 108, section 8-102, subsection 8. Sorry. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Jose Sullivan, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which is received and entered as part of this, as part of the record of this hearing. I further move there will be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. That completes our current cases, moving on to rest of unfinished business.
Case number 22-5661, City versus Sarah Nicole Lugo, Milagros Lugo, Grizel Maria Rodriguez, and Jacob Elijah Lugo for the property located at 9002 Indigo Breeze Court. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Smith for Section 8-10213C dated April 13th, 2023. Case number 225814, City versus Daniel Huang and Ming Wang. For the property located at 8020 Terrace Ridge Drive, the deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Smith for Section 8-10213C dated April 28th, 2023. Case number 225967, City versus Vincent Grybauskis Sr. and Vincent Grybauskis Jr. for the property located at 7609 Leon Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 22-6253, City versus Laurelon Village of Meadowood Condo Association for the property located at 8700 Meadowood Boulevard. The deadline for compliance is June 14th, 2023. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Silva for Section 8-10213H dated May 10th, 2023. Sections 8-10213C and 8-10213B remain out of compliance. Case number 226420, City versus Elise M. Tate for the property located at 11102 North 61st Street. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 226653, City versus Helen R. Carl Brown for the property located at 707 Aberdeen Circle. The deadline for compliance was April 12th, 2023. An affidavit of non-compliance was submitted by Officer Silver for sections 12-860, 10-34, and 8-1022, subsection 22, dated April 13th, 2023. Case number 230051, City versus SRP Sub LLC for the property located at 207 Redwood Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Allen for section 8-10213B, dated May 8th, 2023. Case number 23-0452, the City versus Gregory Brian Ellingson for the property located at 223 South River Hills Drive. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Silver for section 10-3B, dated May 10th, 2023. Case number 230734, City versus Joseph and Elisa Tessaseca for the property located at 9804 North 55th Street. The deadline for compliance is June 14th, 2023. Case number 231265, City versus PPGDT Temple Terrace LLC for the property located at 8942 Bertha Palmer Boulevard. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 231334, City versus Catherine Lockwood Fleming for the property located at 206 Greencastle Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. I also have two that are not on the agenda. Case number 221767, City versus 12260 Group Incorporated for the property located at 12260 Morrisbridge Road. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Smith for section 8-28A1, dated April 27, 2023. This is no longer an active lien. Case number 225444, City versus John P. Ziegler for the property located at 306 South Burlingame Avenue. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Jose Silva for section 12-860. This is no longer an active lien either.
Okay. Good. Okay, now breathe. Very good. Okay, any other board action? Any new business?
If we can go back to board, do you want to talk about the continuing of the,
I was gonna bring it up on the new business. Okay, I have, two items on the new business. One, you all should have gotten an email notice that tonight's, work session is being postponed until June, for obvious reasons. Half the board's not here tonight, so. The other thing I wanted to, ask of you all before you leave tonight is, since we're not going to be dropping off any agendas or caseload or anything, and we're going to be emailing everything, please double check with the clerk and make sure that she has a good email for you. Whatever email you want the stuff sent to, and whatever emails that you're going to actually check. Okay? So if you do that before you leave, I'd appreciate it. I don't have anything else. Go ahead, Ernie.
Following up on that workshop, what time did you want everybody here? 5 or 5?
5 o'clock. Yeah.
What's the workshop about?
It's gonna be two parts. One, we're gonna go over, protocols and, what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. The fact that we are a quasi judicial board separates us from Riverwatch Task Force and the, Education Committee, whatever, or the Library Board. We'll go through some of that. The second half of that is your meeting, where you guys can ask questions or make suggestions of how to make your time behind the dais a little bit easier. So if you have suggestions or you have questions about how to do that, that'll be the second half of the meeting.
Great, thank you. And I have a question actually, Tom, about the registration of general contractor came up this meeting, and I was just wondering about the process. Do they have, what requirements and,
Requirements, a contractor has to be registered through the city to do any kind of work here in the city.
okay, the city of Temple Terrace,
That's correct.
but they get their general contractor license from the state?
Yes.
So in order to do that, they have to be registered with the state, obviously, and present a certificate here? Is that, okay,
Yeah.
and then it's just,
Well, they have to present their license, they have to present a current, form of insurance,
oh, okay,
and if it's a big enough job, they'd have to present a bond.
specific to that
Yeah,
job?
yeah.
Oh, so they have to register each job, is it?
No, just that,
Oh.
you register the entity.
I see,
So if it's their first time doing work in the city, they won't give that contractor a permit until they are registered in the city. But once they're registered, they go on a registered list.
got you.
I just want to make sure they're insured, have a license.
There's no fees for that.
I don't know.
I don't know either. They'll go to the state site, make sure there's no outstanding violations on their
Protect
license.
our citizen.
Yeah,
There's a good protection.
yeah. And I don't know whether there's a cost or not. I don't know.
Could be a nominal, just.
I don't know either.
Cool.
Now, we might have the building official here next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can ask them. Yeah. Or you can call them up tomorrow when they're back in business, find
I'd
out.
just like to make another comment.
Yeah.
In our goal setting that we presented to council in 2022-23 goal setting, we initiated over 60 cases in commercial properties with landscape and designs. So you'll see some improvements across the street at the bank. Shapes used to be, now they have all kind of landscaping and mulch and everything. Carrabba's parking lot, we initiated a case over there. They have all new hedges over there. Jamie Statz's dad, Don Statz, has a property over on Fowler Avenue. They have new hedges.
Going up.
So we opened up over 60 cases,
Just for
different
commercial? Oh.
commercial, yeah. So you've had about 2 or 3 in front of the board. So there are some that are still, our goal is always to get compliance. So this case tonight was presented in January, and here it is May. So we're trying to work with the business owners. We understand, but after a while, it starts to get a little stale, and
Great, though. It's a
it needs
good-
to be
good
presented.
idea, though,
Yep,
to
so
take care of
just,
our city.
so my staff's doing a really good job.
They are.
Yeah, no,
They
absolutely.
always have.
We've noticed increased, and when you say goal setting, you mean there was a meeting, goal setting
Each
set by the?
department presents to city council their goals for the following year, and one of ours was commercial properties.
Perfect, thank you.
Which is very important, and we
Yes, right.
appreciate that very hard.
Yeah, it's not difficult when, tough times right now, and when you go into a property owner and say, hey, you need to put some money into the plaza,
If you
The
notice
first-
that most of them don't have a functional irrigation system.
That's
which,
correct.
So that's the basic, that's the ground of getting good landscaping.
The bank was cited for 3 violations, and one of them was the irrigation. But they put the new hedges in a week prior to the irrigation. What do you think happened to those hedges?
Died.
They all died. So they had to replace every single hedge out there.
And maybe-
So I was gonna tell the gentleman tonight the same thing, but I didn't.
I think he understands that.
I hope so.
That's why he emphasized on
Yeah, I think he understood that.
Another issue too is some of the properties never had irrigation
That's true.
to start with,
Yeah.
so old.
Wow.
True.
And I guess if that's the case, they gotta hook up to city water?
That's correct.
Because there's no, can they get an irrigation meter?
Yes,
Like, okay,
yes, that's,
that saves you some money.
Yep.
So by the way, if anybody is interested, I do have a screen guide. It actually shows up now, so. And he's out of St. Pete,
Have to register with the city.
but I called, honest to God, I think I called 23 screen guys, trying to get somebody, and all of them would be happy to come out if I replaced the entire pool enclosure. But nobody wants to just, repair a few screens and re-bolt the wires for the screen enclosure. These guys did a tremendous job. Didn't speak much English, but they did a great job.
So thank you for coming in tonight.
Yep, appreciate it.
We have a forum.
Yep, and we'll see you at 5 o'clock on June 14th.
You officially adjourn the meeting.
did we,
Oh, no, that's right. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn?
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.
Officially.